does mean that it's going to be tough for them to start fights on their own terms. Like the first pick Rumble feels like it has kind of got left by the wayside as the rest of the draft played out. There's not really any way to keep the members of NIP on top of that equalizer once it smites down the blue buff. Karis took a rough trade in mid. Care looks to have committed the shockwave in order to do so. Get that shove in. Guan immediately going to pop the Cataclysm to lock down Yaoyao. Going to stop Monkey from being able to return too much damage, but Yaoyao's got health to spare. He's able to stay alive and walk on out. Shwo takes a ton of poke damage, and there's a bout over the wall. Going to force the flash out. Guan now going to be the next target. He falls for first blood. That gold goes over to a bout, but Awesome going to be able to trade right back, and not stopping there. Monkey has to pop the maximum dosage to get himself out of danger. It's a 1-for-1 trade with first blood going the way of WE.
Well, and I think Dragons are actually going to be really important this game for both of these teams. Guan's making his way down. I think this will be gone in time, but Monkey could be a target.
Guan taking a peek down here. I don't think Monkey's in position to be able to respond, and About is all alone. He's got no support. Dive incoming, gets hit with a polymorph, focus down, and Awesome will close out the kill. Down goes About.
This fight is not over. Here come WE.
Awesome going to be able to dash himself back on away. Monkey pops the maximum dosage.
Oh,
In goes Guan. Karis tries to shuffle him back, but connects onto nobody. The Soldier's whip. Shockwave doesn't. Pulls back in Karis.
Comp just becomes so dangerous, and Karis is just in trouble.
Yeah, there's the Orianna winning that side of the matchup we were talking about. Monkey focused down too fast. Maximum dosage will not get him out of dodge that time. Doesn't get an item finished until he's in the death chamber, and now Guan has free reign to work on these grubs.
And that's the kind of mistake that Monkey has been making pretty commonly over the course of this split, where he's just a little too far forward and exploitable. It's a nice pickup from NIP. They've really regained full control of this game over the past couple of minutes with some nice plays and some great side laning. The grubs are going to be very helpful for a team that has so much team fight control, I would normally say, as About ends up coming in. And
Guan, let's see what he has to say about this. He will be able to walk this one out, goes where he pleases, as windows are apt to do. 2 versus 1 now. Awesome, trying to kite away, gets hit by the root, has to flash, still goes down. Awesome just takes an inadvisable 1v2 and drops.
At a point in the game, it's not going to matter, but the setup now around Dragon, we could get a fight very, very quickly here.
He's starting to get chunked out, but there's going to be an engage coming on through. Shockwave combo finds its way into Yaoyao, and Care will be able to finish off the kill. Quick first blood in the fight drawn by NIP, but Monkey not going to back away. Stepping up in towards Guan. Another flag and drag comes through, About able to dodge away from it. Awesome going to mark onto him. Meanwhile, shuffle back onto Care. Not able to finish up the job. Going to be Cube flashing forward to find the Flame Spitter damage, but already Jungler down, and looks like Karis going to be joining him. Nice snipe from About. Will be able to claim the life of Awesome.
At the end of this fight with a nice snipe onto Awesome. Could go a lot worse, but Dragon just going to go down in our picture-in-picture, and NIP will stop the stacking for now.
Back up, and it's on a comp where they drafted to be able to be ahead at this stage. About just trying to fend them off now, get Monkey on towards this Rift Herald. Guan not going to be able to get his way in, and Karis found a shuffle back onto Care, and very well might be able to take him out. Sure does. Solo kill to Karis.
Rift Herald dropped onto the top side. This is going to be a lot of gold going into the pocket of these here, but About
face checks into Awesome and Shwo, and does not win that battle. Another kill over to Awesome.
Yeah, it's one kill on one side of the map for another. Gave him earlier, but now NIP charging down the mid lane tier 1. They're going to be able to get this very, very easily. Open up the map a bit more.
There, gets him a couple of autos from Awesome for his troubles, and he will be taken just a little bit lower, still not in too much danger as they kite back towards the Dragon. Hoya and Guan up in the front line, going to start to work on a Monkey who pops the maximum dosage. Damage coming in on a Hoya. There was the equalizer thrown on out as well. Chunks out Care. Double Shockwave in with the Cataclysm. Karis staying alive, finally shovels them back, but will fall on down. But look at Cube. He's melted them with the Flame Spitter. Gets tons of damage back before he's forced out of the play. About staying alive. Flag and drag towards him. Needs to stand and fight. Can only claim back one before Care and Guan will finish him off through Yaoyao's shielding, and now Yaoyao, the last one alive, will have to surrender this Dragon to NIP. Up against the poke damage of this Ezreal Karma. And looking very much in control are NIP once again at 3.5K up. He ends the fight on his own without any bodies hitting the floor.
It's incredible patience from NIP. They're able to chunk down Monkey, get the ultimate out of him on the Dr. Mundo, and realize, hey, once you get that full health bar, there's no way that you can fight back after that ult is down. And NIP say, we don't care about your river vision. We want some pressure on the mid lane here as they're going to shove this wave in. And Pout's going to be in a decently scary spot.
First TPing, mid-wave still does matter, K-Man, and the NIP fully cognizant of this, will maintain control over it. Equalizer comes on through, does cut off that choke. Yuan tries to scoot away, but will get melted down by Karis, as that's one kill already over to the side of WE. Can they keep this fight going? No, they're going to have to let those go. Catch and release here for WE without that follow-up engage, but they have inside track on the towers, and they know they have a numbers advantage if NIP try to fight them.
NIP pincer themselves in that exchange. Guan just goes a bit too deep trying to chase about.
20 seconds to go. I mean, this is a tough ask to try to walk in through the Azir and the Ezreal. Baron falling lower and lower. Hoya actually flashes in here looking for the big stun. Smite comes through. Monkey secures the Baron for WE. Hoya now in deep up against 5 members of WE, and he will be joining the dead. About claims the kill. WE take the gold lead back.
In the fight, Hoya just wants a piece of the action as well.
There's no CC tools to make the equalizer work, so Cube has to make the map work for him. Finds the opportunity there as Guan only has one path out, forces him to waste the flag and drag, and Karis is able to finish him off on that end. Now, hard pushing in mid, nobody in NIP in position to respond. They take inner turret and inhibitor turret. They're going to take the inhibitor as well. Care still hasn't gotten back. The base is cracked open.
To win, and they have to win now.
Gotta do it again here, WE. Engage coming on through. A little bit late from Cube, but he does arrive to the scene. Throws out the equalizer. Gets some good damage onto the team. Shuffle back from Karis, but it costs him his life. Into the GA goes Guan. Comes back out on the other side. Hoya low. Guan at about half. Awesome trying to push back 4 members of WE. And no Azir to dish out the damage. Monkey still trying to frontline. Throwing out some of these both cases. There's going to be a big shockwave on towards 3. About Yao Yao incredibly low. Cube trying to deal the damage. True Shot Barrage comes on across, knocks down a couple of members of NIP, but they're still standing and they're still fighting. Hoya up at the front line, looks for the third cast of Antofo strikes, but can't pull anybody back in, and About still at a safe distance away. The health bars are getting lower and lower. The poke is coming on through. About getting harassed. There's the Dragon Soul. It's secured for the side of NIP. Can they get the clap back from WE? Still shots raining on through from About, but NIP stay together. They stay joined. Guan engages onto About able to keep himself standing for just a little bit longer, and it's going to be Monkey get the last laugh here, unless Guan can scoot himself out to safety. NIP, they don't lose any members other than their carry, but they get the Dragon Soul. Any kind of damage to this guy, unless you're fully focusing him down in a teamfight context. They will be able to claim the last inner turret up here on the top side as they keep that wave shoved on in.
Get over the wall with that arcane shift, but Monkey could be the next target.
Cataclysm comes out. They just want to hold this Mundo close as much as they can. Be able to try to finish him off. Shockwave comes on out, pulls him back in. Maximum dosage is ticking away, but the damage is ticking faster. Monkey trying to run away will finally be finished off by Hoya. No jungler for WE for about a minute. The Baron is getting worked on here. They know that there's not going to be too much support available for the time being. No Mundo on the board means this should be easy pickings. And down goes the Baron to the likes of NIP just as Monkey respawns. NIP claimed the gold lead back, and now it's basically neck and neck, K-Man themselves as Paris has to be careful here. There's 3 members of NIP right in front of him, and his inner turret will not last very long. It's made of paper here in 39 minutes into the game. Lower as this fight continues on. There's going to be the Sun Disc thrown down behind them, but they are already working with their minion wave on towards this mid inhibitor turret. NIP get behind them. WE looking to get this fight started, looking to try to cut off NIP and see what they could possibly do to pick somebody off, but they stay together, and once again, they are able to create themselves an outward path. intercepting them all fight long. Monkey now isolated by Awesome. Gonna get chunked down very, very low. They need to buy Monkey the time he needs to be able to rejoin the health back up, and NIP are not slowing down. Ocean Soul at their back means they can keep this fight chugging.
Cube on the flank, Cube on the flank. You gotta watch out for this Rumble, and Equalizer could turn things around. They have the healing, but we saw what it could do in the last fight.
To wait for NIP to commit so that the Equalizer can still have its maximum value, or they can just throw it on out right here. NIP going to back on away. Hoya cut off from the rest of the team a little bit. Monkey still sitting here at low HP totals, but it's still a pretty good amount. Karis is knocked up. He's isolated, and Awesome will claim that kill. That could be the opportunity NIP have been waiting for to be able to step up into this Elder. Big True Shot barrage comes on through. Yao Yao pulled back in by the Shockwave, and Awesome popping off in the fight will finally be taken down. About claims himself a double kill. Hoya fighting with Cube on the opposite side, and it's Hoya who's going lower and lower, but Zhuo showing up for the backup. Cube still able to take down his top lane counterpart. Monkey able to secure the Elder Dragon. How has WE managed to finagle a way out of this? True Shot barrage goes wide, but Monkey is able to interrupt Care's recall, executes him with the Elder Dragon, and About is on a solo mission towards the Nexus.
He's looking to end the game. He doesn't care about the way that things have been set up. It was Ezreal or bust, and the Ezreal is coming through as he marches down the Nexus solo and ends this game for WE.
They can't keep getting away with it, K-Man. How do WE win these games down such ridiculous amounts of gold? About finds another execute in the fountain.
Yeah, I like both of these drafts a lot more than game number one. It feels a lot more even here. It's clear that NIP want to be playmakers on the map, and that's really the key here. Up on the Dragon, this makes the most sense. You've got that Misfortune pushing on the bottom side of the map, and you do have a bit of tempo advantage. You're not quite level 6, but Monkey's going to have to spend some time re-clearing on that top side. Pings are going down, so this is a nice early pickup here. It's just a Cloud Dragon, but NIP were definitely a little behind in terms of the objectives until the late game. Last game, not able to secure that first one. They're going to change that here in game 2. Yeah, the pings are coming down onto the bottom side for Monkey. They really want to try and look for this play onto Awesome, but I think WE really needs these grubs. This is a big, big dive. If they can pull this off, things are going to be better. If this doesn't work, it could be catastrophic.
Heard the farm alarm there, going to pop over the bullet. Time is Awesome to try to clear out the wave, but the dive comes through regardless. Well juggled on the turret aggro, and first blood goes to About. Definitely going to be the focus. Second Dragon spawning here in just a few seconds, so looking to see some focus around mid and bot. Over the wall comes Guan. Monkey waiting for him, going to pull the trigger right away. Guan's got a flashback away. Now Zhuo's in too deep, trying to kite his way out, but stunned by the concussive blows and finished off by Karis. Cease and assist comes through onto Monkey. They're going to try to make this a 1-for-1 trade. Karis doing his best to rain through the damage, gets weirding across two, but Karis is able to find the execution, gets a reset on towards his Spirit Rush as he continues to step forward, trying to finish off Yao Yao. Good flash from Karis, gets out of the range of that charm and guarantees it's a 1-for-1 to be able to secure this dragon for themselves.
Yeah, it's a teamfight pseudo win, I should say, before the teleport coming in from the top side here. Cube is here.
Cube wants this, stepping on forward. Dragon is still alive. Charm connects on a Yao Yao as he's just one shot. Bout flashes the wall and finishes off Guan, though. Now Zhuo starting to fall low. Cube tanky enough to stay in this fight for a while, but now the other top laner's in there, and About got hit by a charm from Care. Hoya finishes off Monkey. NIP coming out the better in this brawl.
He is going to be pretty difficult to deal with in the late game if he continues to build, more aggressive like this, but you land that combo onto the right one, not the clone, but the actual correct Wukong, and things could get pretty dangerous pretty fast.
AoE damaging ability, but a little bit of lethality, a little bit of extra burst onto the squishies. Really going to need to make sure that that counts for something here, as you can see the trade-off and how quickly Monkey falls down in these fights. Hoya going to be the next target here. He's in a 1 versus 3. I don't think he's getting himself out of here without too much trouble, but look at the damage he's dealing back to Monkey. Finally, Monkey able to get him down there.
Yeah, Hoya wants the 1v3. He's opting in. He's popping that ult and saying, bring it. He buys enough time for his team to have full control over the top side. This is a trade they were very comfortable making. And Rift Herald going over to the side of NIP is pretty important. We talked about this multiple times, but being able to control the side lanes, I think, is super important to be able to play around that by Ahri. You want to make sure that you're in a spot where you can control Yeah, oh, we're not done. Flash for flash on the top side. Such an aggressive play there from both sides, but it's Rift Herald getting dropped. They want to keep this dive going.
Karis, can you? Oh, just turns into a little ball of energy before the charm can connect. If that was half a second earlier, he is screwed, but does manage to get himself out as the turret falls. As Monkey pops the early Cyclone. Meanwhile, though, another turret falls on down. NIP will get a little bit of extra gold and care for it.
And the bot side really gets set up for this, but NIP want to answer.
Yeah, stepping forward, and again, the damage he does to the Monkey on this squishy build is just crazy. Monkey going for the Trinity Force after the Profane Hydra here, by the way. There's an engage from Zhuo, comes through the Magnet Storm, gets it onto Monkey, cease and desist as well, and Guan will take down his jungle counterpart. Wonder what WE's plan is for this. They do have good friend Sion down there to be able to try to give them a little bit of support, and they are going to start sending Karis down. About also taking advantage of these recall timers to take out the mid lane outer turrets. So WE with control here, and yeah, the universal reset from NIP is maybe a little too late. They're now scrambling to try to get back into this dragon in time, but it's melted down pretty fast. Yao Yao fending off Zhuo. Hoya comes in on the side, now looking for the team fight. Monkey going to pop the Cyclone right away. Gets himself away from Hoya, who is now being escorted away, but still does have this pinch to try to make the fight happen. WE stay grouped up together, stay close, stay threatening, and NIP, they just can't find a spot to pull the trigger.
Yeah, they need to pull the trigger here because they're losing so much.
Well, they end up with it onto Cube. He does come through with the Soul Furnace, but 4 members is just a little too much damage for a 20-minute in Sion. Cube will eventually fall on down. That's all they're really going to get for it. About doing his best to clear out this wave, finds good damage onto Awesome, and will keep this mid lane turret standing for the time being as the rest of WE
they want to go
back him up. Glacial Fissure connects on a Care. He loses half his HP, but Karis doesn't want to commit between worlds. Hoya doesn't find a path that he likes, so nothing really ends up breaking out other than that eventual pick out of Cube. Monkey gonna find Care here, gets his charm blocked by the clone, but Monkey will not commit the Cyclone.
But WE going to continue to pressure out. Baron has spawned on the map. We are sitting at around 22 minutes into the game. Yao Yao's too far forward though.
Does manage to flash away. Magnet Storm gets used. Glacial Fissure comes through onto 2. Cease and desist into the back line. It's onto About, but About just flashes back and is perfectly safe. Hoya shows up, but he's in a 1 versus 5. Stunned up by the concussive blows immediately and taken down by Monkey. WE get 2 for 0.
A hugely ill-advised fight from NIP to take in the way that they did. Care was already half health heading into it, and WE had full setup. Not only are they going to have priority around the Baron here, which they will, although we're seeing some NIP pressure.
Flashes away from the charm of Care, and that's going to hose the engage attempt from NIP. Cube just kind of ults in place to be menacing, and it does its job. NIP forced to back away. At all his mobility tools, he gets about half a Valkyrie off, and then he gets the flash back away. Guan looking like NIP going to have trouble getting onto their soul point.
Yeah, they really need to be able to fight this out. Karis is the target.
Karis too far up. Stealth doesn't get him out. Hoya TP's in. Now Hoya might be up too far. Can they melt him down in time? No, they cannot, but they get him low enough that he can't participate in the fight. Care with still 2 casts of Spirit Rush, but they expire. And now up in the front line, Cube willing to keep on going. If they can keep About safe, they can still do a fight like this. Rocket starting to connect, chunking out Zhuo. Hoya flashes forward, gets on a Monkey, but Monkey spinning across the wall, melts down in a second, can't get the second cast off of the Cyclone, but Cube and About dishing out maybe enough damage to turn it back, but absolutely not. Hoya spinning through him with the Call to Meeks will call down WE. NIP find themselves an ace.
It's the top side of ninjas in pajamas that come up clutch, and unfortunately it's Karis getting caught once again at the start of a fight that really ends up costing things for WE. The pendulum just keeps swinging for these two teams. Hoya finding that engage onto Monkey without the ultimate. Very, very good in these late exchanges, and it just feels like we're throwing back and forth forever.
Oh, About found by Hoya, nowhere to go. Hoya gets a solo kill as he catches out the Corki in transition, and Care does the same to Monkey. WE picked apart at the seams as NIP get themselves a 5 versus 3 on the map.
Where did the late game WE go? This was a team that was constantly being able to come back from gold deficits in the early game. Now here they are finally generating a lead for themselves, and NIP are the ones clawing their way back into this game with the Vi-Ahri duo. They want to try and get this tower, but
Man, knock-up Cube rushing forward, and Karis says, I can win this fight on my own. He's going to be able to take down Awesome. Next up on the menu is Shwo. No way to get back over the wall. Soon to be going down for a double, and in a 3 versus 5, WE come out 2 for 0. In the Baron pit, forced to flash, gets away at 1 HP, but Cube says, hey, I'll take those odds. They managed to get the slow on towards Awesome, and About will claim his life. Hoya's TP turns out to be for a split push, but the Baron is the target for WE.
And the Baron will be their prize unless something happens here. Gwan is back. He's not quite full health. There could be steal potential, but this is going to be very, very tough for NIP.
Yeah, I mean, mid-inhibitor turret is getting slammed on a bit here, but it does mean Guan is going to have to try to go for a miracle steal. Karis finds him, and Guan is forced to retreat. Monkey's not in the pit. Monkey is chasing into the jungle camps. He's going to start getting hit by Guan. He's just going to force them out alongside Karis, and they're going to say, all right, guys, you take the Baron without me. I don't know what you're talking about here, K-Man. They claim the Baron, and they go down 1.5k, exactly as you would expect. Cube stepping up here, going to try to make sure that this soul doesn't end up going on through. Monkey probably going to have to end up 50-50ing this unless he can take out Guan. Guan looking for the engage, dives into the backline. About's already been able to take down Care. It is going to be a 1-for-1 trade, marksman for marksman. Karis goes into the stasis, trying to be able to finish off Awesome. He will be dropped to the opposite side, but Monkey is getting focused down, trades one more down, but Hoya and Guan will stay standing, and it's only Cube left alive. This is going to be soul for Ninjas in Pajamas. Jungler and top lane are more than enough to work their way through the Baron as they claim a second ace.
It's a huge fight for NIP. They had to win this in order to maintain their control over this game, and they do just that. You called it out. It's soul for Ninjas in Pajamas, but let's not forget, this will be their second soul of the series.
Will he be able to find him in transit again? This time About's got Yao Yao and Monkey right near him. Shwo on the move over. They walk into Guan. They will. The flash engage gets onto him with the cease and desist. About still staying alive for the time being, but he will drop. Monkey's Cyclone, not enough to save his marksman. Karis arrives, but it is too little and too late. Doesn't find the between worlds onto anybody, and that is gonna be game number 2. NIP will send us to game 3 off another pick onto the marksman.
Secret Agent Guan ends up stepping up in a massive moment. He finds the engage. The team follows up beautifully. And NIP are bringing us to yet another game number 3. They're addicted to going the distance, and they will get another shot at a series win here tonight.
NIP are getting their reps in here.
Jungle duo and talk about the power that comes from a lot of these late game team fights, but because of the Kalista Renata and even at times the Gnar on the top side of the map, you're looking at a team that really does want to snowball this game. They
truly have the full burst combo. Karis
Hoya's coming down.
Actually going to be the target here. Yeah, Hoya on his way. They do have Monkey here for the additional disruption. We'll get a couple of swipes in on towards Guan as Karis is able to fall back away. Here's Hoya in there on the Mega Gnar, though. Finds Monkey, who gets up too far, and NIP claim first blood. A few seconds away from the Grubs, too. Does give an opportunity for Guan to make his way on up there if he does decide it's something he wants to go for. Hoya's on a recall, though, so this top wave will be crashing here very soon.
Yeah, I imagine this is just going to be an aggressive trade. We'll see how aggressive NIP want to make this. For now, they are bringing up Guan. He's at least going to be in the area. He will be spotted on vision, but it's a 1v1 with the junglers in the pit at the moment.
Well, he claims 1, but now Guan here to start it on up as the backup of the rest of his squad. So yeah, looks like NIP should be able to claim themselves 2 of the Grubs at the very least. And in addition to the first Dragon and the gold lead, NIP having a pretty solid early game to themselves here.
Mega Gnar being quite aggressive from Hoya. You're absolutely right in terms of those plates on the top side, but this is something we actually notice pretty commonly with Cube. Laning phase not always going his way, and yet he's found ways to make impacts in team fights on this champion with that 100% win rate. For now, it's Monkey looking mid.
Oh, they do get the root, and there's the max range public execution from Monkey. He cleans up Care and will get himself up to 1-1.
Lead cut down by about 1,000.
Nicely done there, and getting the rise rolling. So
Ooh,
with
the
a
knock-up?
double knock-up, flash pulverized from Yao Yao. Flash away, but it's too late. Awesome drops in the 2 versus 2 on the Kalista Renata lane, and About is on the board.
They're not done here. They're looking for Zhuo under tower.
There's no way they're able to clean this up, but Yao Yao is just tanking it up with the unbreakable will. WE 2 for 0.
Is able to really generate a lead for his team. It's still NIP that's going to get priority on this Dragon. At least for now on this setup, it doesn't look like it's going to be contested all that much, but definitely not a bad game state for WE.
Using this pick to enable plays, Hoya plays respectively, but that means he's seeding this turret.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Hoya, who did a great job to generate his own lead. A lot of pressure now being put onto Cube. You want to make sure you can get him back into this game because your game plan still revolves. They want to take too much right now.
And Karis actually realm warped his way down here to be able to start working on this turret. Will claim himself another turret plate. He'll be able to back up Monkey as he takes part in his favorite activities, stealing away the blue buff. And they're going to be able to successfully defend the mid lane turret as well. About uses the bouncing blades. Well, I may have spoken too soon. Rift Herald is dropped and is going to charge its way on in. It's another plate for them, but again, WE are here to be able to clear it on out, and meanwhile, Karis finishes off that bot lane turret for WE, and they aren't going to engage any further. So on the hunt blown, not much else. Hoya coming in for the engage, About gonna have to flash away from the Gnar. Here comes Guan, About in the middle of no man's land, but he does manage to stay alive. Finally, Hoya going to flash over the wall, gonna be able to finish off the kill, but Guan incredibly low. Cube all over Hoya, continues to chase him down, and the ghouls are just plucking away at that tiny Gnar health bar. Cube will finish off the kill, and despite About being picked off, it's a 2-for-1 fight win for WE.
NIP burn everything at the start of that fight to try and get those priority targets down. They're able to kill About, but it takes everything in their kit to do so.
Awesome. Get About rolling earlier on. Both of About's kills are still from that 2-on-2 double kill. And it was all started off by Yao Yao being able to find the angle. Now another angle
engage
found by Monkey. Gets a public execution on a Guan, takes him to about half HP, gets Supreme Display Talented into the wall. Hoya on the bottom side, they're going to be able to finish him off. Realm Warp is in, but it's too little and it's too late. About a million miles away, finally going to step back up here, starts to throw some boomerangs into Zhuo, who is about to fall down, gets sent to the handshake, but will the execution come on through? No, it will not. Bailout does not proc. Second kill comes on through, but it is Cube who drops down on the opposite side. It's 2-for-2 so far. Awesome, throws himself into the fight. Petrifying gaze across the team. Care firing away into About, and it's another ace found by NIP.
Throw, NIP find the perfect fight with Monkey going way too deep in the jungle, feeling like he can execute Guan, but Guan's tanky enough to survive.
He down 1.5k.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if there is a comfort zone for WE, it is down in gold, so you never really know what the entire intention is, but Monkey, who's been making mistakes, makes a pretty crucial one. We'll see if he can make up for it.
Taking the inside track towards mid, and it looks like NIP have fully committed here on towards the Dragon. Maiden going to do her best to try to fend them away. They have sight on all of them, and Infernal Soul About does have his Infinity Edge done. He could still be a massive damage in these fights. As a Monkey gonna get caught out again. Supreme Display of Talent into the wall. Hoya claims the kill credit. Cube able to escape with the flash. Avoids getting gnarred back into his own wall.
It's on the board. No jungler available for WE.
Trying to get on towards the big purple worm. Karis arrives. It's like fish in a barrel for him to fire away onto. He will get taunted on up. And it's stolen by About! Are you kidding me? A boomerang takes the Baron, but what about the follow-up fight? Karis getting jumped onto, going to fire away and get a kill right back. About booking it back towards his base, trying to get out of here with the Baron buff in tow, and he will do so. NIP, another unforced error, loses them the most unlikely Baron.
Will only be About who is able to push those waves, but it is a Sivir with Baron buff, so the push is very real as they take down this tier 2 in the mid lane. They're going to try and get as much as they can out of this. They're still at a negative.
Towards Guan. Handshake going to take it back away. Public execution goes wide. Supreme display of talent lands onto 3, but the follow-up isn't there. Cube TP's in, and here comes Hoya in the middle of the squad. The hostile takeover will be able to create a little bit of space. Hoya's about to go mega.
One mega.
2 back into the wall. Lands a stun onto 3. The focus damage comes through on a Monkey. Karis sectioned off on the bottom side. Yao Yao doing his best, trying to disrupt this fight. Guan flashes away from one more overload. Karis going to be focused down. He drops as well. 3 members fall for WE. NIP still 5 strong. They're about to claim Dragon Soul.
They look like they are going to pick up the biggest objective they can. Infernal Soul on the map for this team. And once again, it's the solo laters coming in clutch for Ninjas in Pajamas.
When there's still CC tools available on the likes of Hoya and Shuo. Can't make good on your very strong Sivir, I don't know what chance this WE team has of being able to win out these fights.
That is indeed your biggest problem, is you've got this Sivir with all this gold, but the front to back is so inconsistent. You don't have any ways to set it up. You've drafted a split push comp, and while, again, I know it might not seem obvious on paper, this NIP draft really does want to play front to back. They really do have a lot of tools after the engage to play through this Cassio Callista comp. WE, teleport coming in from Hoya. They're just starting this. They're going to burn this Baron so fast. On over. It's a little bit later for Cube. In goes Yao Yao finding the knockup, so they're going to try to just burn down Hoya here. He shoots back to mini form. They're focusing everything they've got into him. A couple more boomerangs would do it. The Baron has fallen, but so has Hoya. They need to get more out of this fight. Monkey looking for the engage opportunity. Flashes over the wall, jumps into the team, gets sent to the Guardian Angel. Yao Yao's been melted down as well, and the rest of WE, they need to find the fight. About stepping up, throws the boomerangs into Shuo, gets a double kill for it. Awesome. Gonna be able to get that fight right back, gets sent back into the bailout and will be executed by Cube. A huge team fight from the likes of About will give a 1-member number advantage back over to WE. About is keeping this game alive for WE in a situation that feels impossible for a Sivir to change the fate of this game. He is doing just that. You gotta give a lot of credit to Yao Yao as well, who just continues to buy so much time.
All over him. Oh
my god!
Care jumps back over the wall. He finds himself face to face with Cube. He just speeds up the inevitable, and he's gonna drop 1,000 gold shutdown to Cube. Elder Dragon to WE. And we say it over and over again, you can never talk about probability. At their backs, beginning to siege onto the base off of NIP taking a Baron and losing out on the subsequent team fight. And they're going to be able to get in onto this bot lane inhibitor. They're going to take it down.
Yeah, they are taking down this bot lane inhib. Guan is on the flank, and they don't really have any other wave to move to. See how aggressive WE want to be here. They actually could be relatively trapped. That might be exactly where WE want to be, though.
It certainly should be. All 5 members of WE staying together. Guan deep behind enemy lines, looking for a flank play, looking to reprise his performance from game number 2, where he picked off About and ended the game in an instant. But the rest of WE, they want this game to end right here. Yao Yao gets the engage, finds the knockup onto Care. Monkey's found Guan, and 1 out on the 1 versus 1. But the stun found its way onto About. Petrifying gaze from Care, buying so much time and space. But About stands and fights. The Elder Drake at his back gives him the damage to win out the team fight. Karis is alive. About is alive. WE are alive in the group as they will take down NIP and reverse their fortunes from the first round robin.
Gold, anybody else gets caught out, you're not expecting them to be able to withstand too much damage. I think that there will be a point where if Jachi gets the appropriate peel from Fengyue, and if he and Cream can stand strong in that back line, those neutrals, and you can already see here an early gank on that bot side for Wei. Dre setting up for it.
Fengyue is going to get caught here, going to go for the headbutt pull into Wei to try to get away, but the piercing arrow plus the combo for Wei gets IG to first blood.
Gala somewhere is sat smiling. He's not the first person to have missed that flash now. And
see another day.
So IG focusing very heavily on just getting gold, and I think the picture-in-picture is showing us how that public execution went down. Looks like he was just using it to try and escape there, maybe expecting that there was a gank coming through a little bit. It's a lot about IG, and you see them starting to take these grubs now. There's a 4v4 on the top side. Mid Prio going to be vital.
Glenn's got used on the bot side, just get away from that Chains of Corruption combo. Dway goes in for an engage, misses the dredge line, still gets the CC on the back end. IG are focused on trying to get this last grub. There is no smite available, so they just go for the fight. Supreme Display of Talent is used, and grubs will be secured by IG. Gotta be a little bit careful. Nayo's getting low, but not going down. 369 has joined the fight, now is ripping apart Way. Way is down, Grand Starfall not in time. Flame Spitters were hot enough to take him out, but another beautiful entrance coming through from 369 as he finds yet another kill, and this time onto Rookie.
2 for 1 there, and a 2 for 1 trade in the grubs as well. So Top Esports come out on top on the fight. It's IG that gets slightly better end.
Man, the biggest thing we talked about so much into this series for Top Esports was, you know, obviously their veteran pillars, the holdovers. As we have to pause for a moment because there's a beautiful combo used in mid lane, and Rookie is down.
The champion is obviously her immobility, and it's good to see Top Esports making that pay.
And that's not, I know we've seen Rookie, we see a big engage, double CC chain on bot side. Man, people just don't get to play the game in this game. Everybody just gets CC'd 100-0. And now this combo from the draft that we talked about, Shockwave is still available. Cream was holding it the entire time. And 369 finds himself a second kill. Cream and 369 both on 2 now.
A couple of plates as well, and I mean, they're looking for a fight down on this bot side with the dragon spawned, and Yunara having to walk her way back out with no first item. This could be an IG win.
Oh, they're going to take the engage now, and unfortunately, the health bar is just not kicking it for Dway. He's going to flash away. Nice scout of the week from Rookie. Big Supreme Display talent from Way. He gets the pick on a Cream. That's a lot of damage down, but Tiachi is now here with the Transcend oneself. He's looking to go over the wall, gets the double slow, but doesn't have another dash. Just goes for the flash. Now Tiachi trying to claim his name to fame here, at least, as Nayo wants to find one big spear. Can't find the intro there, but they'll turn back to the dragon. Some pings coming there for the objective.
My value on Cream, or my stocks on Cream, never been particularly high, and Rookie, one of the best players on this IG roster, him giving him the hands in game number 1 is certainly a win.
Oh, 369 fell for the bait. Sapporo beautifully holding it out there, but 369 going to dash away with the flash.
Oh my God!
Misses. 369 stands tall in the top lane.
And really big that Jiachi feels confident to look for that. He was down in gold, and
they're going all in top side. We just don't get to talk, or at least you don't, unfortunately. Rudis, they just keep going. Full combo, and 369 there now picks up his 3rd kill.
Yep, no mercy there from Cream. I like to see he just walks in, Shockwave immediately, not giving an opportunity to trade that back onto 369.
By the way, IG do a good job of taking the tools of Top Esports. They used a couple themselves, though, but they'll move into the Dragon Pit now. Big scout of the week on a Cream. Cream's in a little bit of trouble. Does get away with the rest of his team. Nayo goes for the kill, gets onto Dway. Now they're trying to find IG the rest of the way. Jiachi setting him up now as he goes forward. He's trying to get a W potentially, but the scout of the week is going to hit on the Cream.
369 walks off the equalizer, and that's about all that there is to be said. And 369 done enough on that bot lane. Top Esports done enough in the mid lane. The fact that he lives is pretty positive for Top Esports, and a bit of a sign of the times for IG as they are looking for this Herald with Fenway nearby, but he's not able to get in. No spellbook smites available. And
I will say, I kind of like the Cloud Dragon Soul for this team for Top Esports. I feel like they could use it pretty well. I know it's not good stats, but I think in the long term we'll see as Feng Yue getting in trouble. He's just tanking turret shots, but Cream is doing so much damage. Power unleashed, and that truly will be powerful from Rookie.
Yeah, getting a quick pickup there and all over them from here as you know, they're looking for Sobro down on the spot side, but they're going to lose out on this turret as well. They're trading it for the top tier 1, so it's not all doom and gloom for Invictus Gaming here. But if you take a look just at the experience as well for the most part, solo laners are ahead for Top Esports. They're able to get a quick crack onto the mid lane, and that is going to fall as well. For Top Esports, they're slowly but surely just amounting a larger lead. So despite this lull that we talked about in terms of IG slowing the pace of the game,
there ain't no slowing down here, apparently. We're just going all fights all night as Dway is just surrounded by 5 members of Top Esports and falls.
This Gaming are, they'll be able to complete their sweep of the outer turrets here, which opens up the map for them very nicely. With Baron up on the board, it's great to see that they've got complete control now over that topside jungle. If they want it, no particular safe havens for IG to retreat back to. They're going to go back, spend their gold. We've got the Fiend Hunter bolts picked up for Jiachi on top of that Kraken Slayer, so he's very fed, very confident in his damage that he's able to pump out.
IG going to move into the pit here soon. Dragon is upon us, Rude.
And it looks like once again, it's Wei for Invictus Gaming. Hold on, another fight breaks out as Dre forced to flash out to see. Now the poke from the Varus needs to start hitting, and Photic needs to have a moment. With no equalizer on Sobro, this flank isn't going to hit nearly as hard.
They're going for it. Grand Starfall coming in. They're trying to get the back line, but they've been split on, and now Feng Yue is trying to tank the rest of the team now. The rest of the damage dealers from Top Esports have tried to catch back up with IG. They did end up claiming one. They won't find much more. Maybe Saburo overextends himself, and now going back to the Dragon after they get this kill will be Top Esports. And IG, they've really just had no say in this game number one.
I mean, that's just soul picked up for top. It's a great engage coming through to try and trade those marksmen, but unfortunately for IG, it wasn't enough. Dre did find a good hook onto Tiachi, but it didn't end up resulting in anything after the fact. Cream able to force Rookie out on the top side, and so on a relative scale for Alistar ultis, as squishy as he's going to be, and we are getting to the point in the game where we're getting level 3 ultis come online for Soboro, and they're going to use that on the bot side now.
It's just 700 gold. If 369 takes this fight, he might just give over that. He tried to get the kill on the Saboro. Now he's just going to go for the all-in. 369, you're insane. Has the help of Nio coming over the top of the Grand Starfall, going for the flash play. Nio going for the quick kills, a double for the man from the mountaintops, Top Esports, as they find another quick pick in the mid, but they don't end up securing that one. It's going to be just chaos
in trade, but they are going to lose out on this tier 2 turret in the mid lane, and a big 2v1 turnaround from 369. Last series, yesterday, he was having a pretty...
Things happening well for them, but now it's a big thing. Elder Dragon is up, and Top Esports want to punish.
Oh my
Before
God.
the fight even kicks off, they catch Rookie in the side lane. That means a member down for IG. That must mean the Elder Dragon goes to Top Esports, but
IG, he had his flash still available, now 369 on the flank on a ping.
just walks into the back line. He doesn't even care, bro. He just walked into 3 people, and luckily the rest of his team is able to follow up right behind him. Saburo gets left out to the dust, and now Photic is on the wrong side of town. 369 is going to go the long way because he can have fun with it. And if Drew Levin's watching right now, this is why ADCs need a buff. This is a terrible game for old Photic there and the rest of IG, but this will be an Elder Dragon going to Top Esports.
And that's pretty much game number 1 sorted. Again, the pitfalls of this IG composition really showing themselves there. I mean, Rookie with some really bad positioning down on the bot side, doesn't flash out to safety, doesn't really have any way to get out once he gets knocked up.
And honestly, we're picking up right where the last series left off with this here for Top Esports.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's a detriment. That's a bit of a discredit to Top Esports. I think they've not really given them mega throws like we got to see from the last series. There was definitely and we'll see whether or not they can use them to do exactly that. With the Baron at their backs, you'd expect a lot of gold to go into their back pockets, and with the Elder at their backs as well, you'd expect any fight that they take to be advantaged for them as well. Poke from Photic here, landing onto Feng Yue, who might be able to just go back to base and spellbook his way back in, but you can see, even with that poke landing, there's just no threat, there's no presence, there's no hope for IG here.
And what's so crazy about this, okay, public execution goes a little bit wide there. Don't think it matters in the end of things, but this is a very, extremely similar story to what happened the last time these two teams met. Top Esports took a very whole-handed first game of the series, and IG came back in games 2 and 3. And now we got to see what happens if Top Esports can change that narrative, change that history, as the Elder Dragon buff is starting to light it up on IG's base. That's going to be multiple structures down. TP coming back in for 369, and IG grasping at straws to figure out what to do in this series as the might of Top Esports comes reigning supreme in game number 1 of this first series of the second round robin for both teams. Top Esports go 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah, especially, up against this Scion, it's just going to do so much work. Subjugate's going to work wonders if he overextends with that unstoppable onslaught. Will just be curtains for 369 pretty early on. Decided to take this in favor of Nio.
Does this work into the... Oh, okay. A little bit of extra damage. Yeah, Flash is coming out, but the team stayed. Feng Yue gets the re-engage there with the charge, and now they got 1 kill going. It's going to be a trade, though, and this is the skirmish power we were talking about. Wei is just going to be swinging that hammer back and forth. Photic able to do a good amount of damage with the Gatling gun as well. Here comes Rookie. Not able to find distance there. The heal will also be used in the bot lane, but it's a 1-for-1.
The map that we were hoping would go Top Esports' way is currently, and You know, this MF, we know it to be a very powerful laner, and we can see bot lane now. IG with no flash is looking to punish Feng Yue.
He is going to be punished. That pillar is doing work, but he beautifully stops the crash down, and now Nio comes in for the fight. Jiaqi is getting the double taps on everybody. Feng Yue didn't go down, and Jiaqi picks up a double kill.
It's a perfect bait by Feng Yue here. Good flick from Rookie, not enough to steal it away as Nio, and double TPs coming in from both supports. So there shouldn't really be anything here. And Feng Yue may be in a little bit of trouble, actually.
All right, yeah, he's in a little bit of hurt. The crash down waited for that time. Wei can't get the kill out of Feng Yue. Now Rookie gets engaged up by Nio. Luckily, Wei is here. Now Wei is going to start doing some chunk damage, but Cream has arrived. Jiaqi has arrived. The double chunk goes right back Wei's way, and Top Esports will claim a 4th kill of the game. 1.2k in the lead, and
Both of our bot lane is going to stick around on that bot side, but I think that this is what IG needs to do. Saboro is the one current linchpin of this composition where he's, 500 gold up over the Scion. That's the expectation for IG in this early game, so play around it. You could have maybe even looked in that mid lane before it got skewed by the bot side fights. But no, now you've only really got this Renekton to try to play around, and in fairness, Saboro on this Renekton has the opportunity to take out Jiaqi in these fights. The question that you have to ask is he going to be able to get access to the Misfortune through a Shurima Shuffle, through a Crescent Guard, through Poppycopter?
now Dragon is going to be started up. It's pretty weak since it's still the first one, and it will be taken down by Top Esports. So right back to kind of what we saw last game of the series, where IG were on that top side progression of those neutral objectives, and Top Esports just going to be stacking up the Dragons. Going for Photic now, but Photic expertly dodging away from some of the damage. Wei is going to capitalize on an overextended Jiaqi. Feng Yue did stick around, and Nio did stop the advance. The beautiful flash heroic charge. It's not enough damage, though, but Nio will clean the kill there.
All of these fights, all of these trades, if they're not all ins, they favor Top Esports. Take this turret off the back of that, and this lead for the Misfortune continues to grow. They weren't able to find the all-in, they weren't able to take him down immediately, so he just gets to BT sustain his way up through the wave.
We see a mid lane little play as Flash got burned by Rookie.
Yeah, if he's not going to make his way down to these objectives, there's not really a way for IG to take any fights. We look across the map where the leads are. It's a 3k gold lead for Jiaqi. Everywhere
That's
else,
insane.
Like little bits, dregs of gold going one way or the other. Saboro with a 500 gold lead pales in comparison. Way any potential engages. Everybody's still out on the map here for Top Esports. Saboro, though, the big point of IG, needs to make something happen.
That's a big mistake from Nio, though. Not expecting him to stick around. The double flash comes through, and now Top Esports have surrounded the Croc, as they are going to take him down slowly but surely. It's the trade for the Rift Herald, but that's a decent chunk of gold going over to Top Esports. They got 470. The thing about the Misfortune is, at this point with this much damage, it's not just the ulti that you have to watch out for.
No.
So we'll see how IG want to kind of approach those fights moving forward. We have about 1:40 till that next Dragon, and it's already going to be sole point for Top Esports as we see Saboro trying to take it all in on 369.
Just got the shred, and still think maybe with the Black Cleaver there's a route to it, but with no Dominus, there's Archie just playing with them here.
Yeah, I mean, now they don't really have any tools to keep him at bay, as all 5 members of IG circle around. They're going to use the Rift Herald as a bit of a distraction. Carnifex here in the mid lane.
Dragon spawns now. 2 dragons
Saboro
already,
finds
and Saboro's
Nio.
going in.
You can't get away from that damage with the Crescent Guard, Nio, but the bullet time will lay down a good amount, as they do end up getting a jungle trade there. That's going to be Nio and way down ahead of the objective coming up. Here comes Rookie for the fight over with Saboro. Gets a beautiful seismic shove, but Cream tries to get the kill before. It's going to be the kill given over to Feng Yue, as it is traded to Rookie. Rookie going to go with another seismic shove and finally able to land a combo, get his first kill of the game. Going to dodge out of the seismic shove. Going to have to be a little bit careful here. Did have to burn the flash, but he's still doing well. Now the wall charge doesn't come through. It is still going to be Jiaqi getting a kill here, though. He steps up into Rookie, gets a double kill. Looking for more, too. He's got the Bloodthirster. You got to remember. He's able to get a good amount, but that's going to be a big shutdown to Wei. Now Cream coming in, too. The TP going to be used by Saboro. Can they clean Wei? They won't do it. So it'll be Jiaqi giving his life, going for the show play.
Remember all that LDL development that you gave me, Top Esports? Here, let me pay that back. Now in the LPL, in the big leagues, he has a good time of things. He's going to dice back out Saboro, but he's slowed by Rylai's.
Saboro, he just did not expect that much damage to be there. Fungyue goes forward. They
He's
can't get on the
alive!
flash from 369. You ain't getting away from the sheriff on this top lane. 369 finds the kill.
Yeah, game 1 on Ambessa, he's able to live that 3v1 this time round, though Top Esports have a much more extreme lead. There's now Dre
Dude,
looking
they
for
just
more.
don't stop. It's just unstoppable. It's almost as like IG want this lead to continue growing because it's 7,000 gold now. 369 going to be locked down with the seismic shove. Look how much damage Cream is doing here. He is just peppering them with this Gnasher's Tooth build. And Wei is about to die. Jachi comes with a bullet time. He gets the kill too. And we are just unstoppably fighting in this game. It is Valhalla for TES and IG.
And try as they might, IG cannot defend their mid-tier one of the bullet time. Starting to see all the damage from Jati start to reign true. Good little pick by the solo laners.
This series by having a whole-handed game number 1 and now finding the recipe to stop what IG wanted to do in the early game and find their own success in this game 2. TP is going to come down. Turret has already fallen. Saboro is in a little bit of trouble now. They're going to get some good damage down, but that's not going to be enough to chase anybody out. They're going to keep sieging on the bot side, though, Rude.
Yeah, they've still got this Baron and they've got the Azir turret behind them to fall back to, so there's no real angle to collapse from Invictus Gaming. Jachi here walks up, takes up like a fifth of the turret in a single auto attack. If he pops double up on someone else and then walk up again, it looks very good.
And then he's just so fast that he gets away from the seismic shove as well. 369 is pushing this mid lane. Turret plates are falling left and right. It's over 10,000 now in Top Esports. They lost that first series in the first round robin against IG, but they will not let that be the case here. They know it's do or die pretty much from here on out, and they're trying to put everything on the line as Jachi is still holding bullet time on top of the Emperor's Divide. He has not been stopped. Saboro's one job does not go to completion, and a double kill comes through for Jachi yet again. This guy is earning his place in the stardom of Top Esports with a triple kill. Go ahead and give him the quadra. Come on, get him one more. He's going to walk for it. Jachi trying to go for it. It is going to be Nayo that gets it, so no Penta today, but Top Esports will change their fate as they move forward positively into the second round robin and are trying to inch their way into that top 4 conversation.
Try as rookie might, he's not going to be able to clear these minions, and Top Esports with the double up on these turrets are going to be able to take it all the way.
Nayo fell for the sins of Top Esports, but IG will fall for the sins of themselves. They did not respect this Top Esports team, and they have been beaten. Top Esports start their second round robin.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.